Hi everyone, we've got a little impromptu video to do today. It's really in response from the video that I put out about how people treat driving school vehicles, and just like to cover a little area that people seem to be getting wrong massively, and it's the fact of if people are lane changing round parked obstructions, it's a mindset of saying the people in lane 2 have priority. Well, I know they do, but I'm just going to try and explain a different way of thinking, maybe a different frame of mind that's going to stop, potentially, if people implement it, a lot of these problems. So we've got a situation up ahead that this constantly happens. It's featured on a number of my videos, and quite simply there's parked cars a little touch further up. Now I'm just going to have a look at what's going on here. Now this Mercedes in front has done a brilliant job with the lorry, and I couldn't have got a better example straight from the off. Full credit to the Mercedes in front. They saw the situation, the parked cars up on the left, and they saw the lorry signal, and honestly everyone kept flowing. And this is the point that I want to try and get across to people, is that when that situation happens, when there's a parked car maybe in on the left and people want to get out, as long as the traffic is flowing at a similar speed, honestly the best thing to do is just back off slightly. Now hopefully we're going to get a few more of these situations a little touch further up, but I can't guarantee it, but we're going to have a little go. Now this is the same stretch that my last video was actually filmed and captured on, and quite simply there was a bus that parked a little touch further and I was trying to get out, and the lady in the right hand side closed the space down, and a lot of people were saying, well, not even a lot, a small minority of people were saying that I didn't have priority, which they're correct. I'm using someone else's lane. You're absolutely spot on, there's no questioning that, and I shouldn't have moved out. Let's have a little look again, let's see what goes on. And again, everyone's being brilliant today, and even the vehicle behind me has seen the situation of parked cars further up and held back. And honestly, that's all it takes. It takes a little bit of planning, and both of these lanes can flow quite comfortably both together, rather than one lane has the ultimate priority and the other lane has to stop. Again, there's a bus a little bit further up. So all I'm doing, I'm trying to now position myself next to a space, so therefore when this bus parks as it is, I know there's no one behind this one this time, but I'm free. I'm not going to do it just while we're across the crossing, but I'm just going to do my lane change into this space. So a lack of planning from other people gets themselves into problems, so they haven't got anywhere to go. But it's the people who close spaces down that interrupt the flow for everyone. So regardless of whether you've got priority, and I know you cannot just barge your way in, and even on this video that people maybe are saying that I just barged in, I didn't barge in. I glided to the centre line and I didn't push straight away, and I gave the lady plenty of chance to see the signal, but because of her poor driver attitude of I've got priority, that was the problem. She closed the space down, and then effectively one lane goes and the other lane doesn't. Now if that's the case, only one lane is going to flow through. That means half the amount of traffic is going to continue down the road. Why not both lanes flow? Why don't people let people out from this left, and then you can both keep going at the similar sort of speed, just as we saw this lorry do a little bit before. So the fact is, yes, the people in that lane do have priority. However, it's the people in that lane that then cause all the problems by closing the space down. There shouldn't ever be a situation where the traffic is flowing at a similar sort of rate that people in that lane can't let someone pull out round parked cars. But honestly, it's the attitude of these people who close space down that causes all kinds of problems on the road. Lane discipline is absolutely atrocious on the roads nowadays. But has it got a big thing to do with people not letting others out and closing spaces down? Perhaps. Even now, I've moved away and I'm trying to be next to a space in case there's a problem and in case other people want to come in front. The Mercedes can come in front of me, no problem. The Ford can come in behind me, no problem. But people don't think like that on the road. They just get wrapped up with that vehicle in front and have no thought of anyone else on the road. And this was shown in the comments. So if you are that type of person who on purpose closes space down and stops the flow for everyone on the road, honestly, you need to get a grip. The roads aren't there for someone's sole purpose. They're there to be shared. And even scenarios like this, it works in the same way. I'm trying to build my speed so I'm next to a space. And if I'm next to a space and traveling at the same speed as a space, I can fit in, providing that person doesn't close the space down. But it goes on all too often. And even on the motorway, like we've got now, I'm trying to get out round the lorry. There's a massive space. I can't really give an example there, but it happens on the motorway all the time. When you are in this middle lane, what you need to do is appreciate people in the left lane and their needs also. It's not just about you and I'm in that lane and I've got priority. The people who act in the road or act on the road in that way are the main causes of problems. Now, a little bit further up, we are catching the vehicles in lane 1. So what I would be thinking here is I'm going to position myself next to a space. This one behind isn't catching much, but if I put my signal on now, let's see what happens. Another perfect example, they slightly backed off and allowed everyone to flow, and that's how it should be. Now actually what I'm going to do, I'm just going to tuck it back in because we've got the speed limit change a little bit further up. Okay, and I'm going to say thanks to this guy. Top draw, buddy. And that's how it should be. People should just have a little lift off of the gas and allow all the traffic to flow. And if it happens like that, everyone gets to their journey that little bit quicker, rather than one person, I've got priority, no you're not coming out, I'm going to close that space down, and then the other lane has to stop. That makes no sense whatsoever. So, rant over. Try and actually share the roads, everyone, because if you do, all the traffic gets there that little bit quicker. There won't be one person who gets there 30 seconds earlier and one person who has to wait 30 seconds longer. Everyone's going to get to their journey that little bit sooner if all the traffic flows. So don't be selfish. It's not all about yourself. Think of other people on the road, and honestly, these roads that we all use can be a better place. Thanks a lot for watching. I hope your ears don't hurt too much, and I will see you all soon.